Alright, let's jump into another Premier Draft for Ikoria, the newest set for Magic. So a Premier Draft is when you sit down with 8 other players, you all open up packs and you pass the cards around, picking one card at a time. Same way that draft works in real life. They finally added that to Arena, where you don't have to draft with bots, which oftentimes led to very kind of warped formats. This is far superior because it's kind of self-correcting, right? If there's one strategy that's too strong, then people tend to gravitate towards that strategy, which means it'll be harder to draft. It sort of like balances itself to an extent when you have 8 other people. Where with bots, you would often see like the most powerful deck in the format being found out. The bots weren't drafting it enough, and it was kind of painful to run into the same deck over and over and over again in draft. It's not really how draft's supposed to work. So, but let's hop right in. This will be my second Ikoria draft. We got a Gigan, Cyberclaw Terror, one of the most played companions, so it's cool to get that. And wow, okay, we already got our players. Seems like these fill up super quick. Been pretty impressed. So we're hopping right in here. Okay, and our rare is Slitherwisp. I think this is an okay rare, but not super busted, so let's look at the rest of our cards. We do only have a minute to talk here, so I can't really go super in depth about which cards are best, but we do have a Farfinder. Farfinder is going to be see play in pretty much any deck. Rumbling Rockslide is a pretty good removal spell, and then Slitherwisp is kind of... I actually think we probably don't take the Slitherwisp. It's hard into 2 colors. You've got to be in blue-black to play this. You can't really be in black splashing blue a little bit. And it's not... I mean, there are a significant number of cards with flash, but not a ton. I think we just take the Farfinder and leave ourselves open. We will play this in literally any deck, no matter what. So first picking it here leaves us completely open, and it is a good card. I don't think we want to go hard into blue-black first pick, so... let's see. Out of this pack, Bloodcurdle looks pretty good. Bloodcurdle is very easily splashable, very powerful removal spell. The fact that we have this Farfinder means we really don't even have to be in black to play Bloodcurdle. We basically already have enough fixing to run it. We can just pick up another couple tap lands and be fine if we need to splash this. So that's the power of Farfinder. We've kind of set ourselves up here to just pick the best cards without having to worry about committing. Rooting Moloch's also really good. Bastion of Remembrance is just okay. If you're in like a go-wide sort of, you know, aggressive deck, that you can use this to kind of finish things out, but it's just alright. I'm going to use... I don't know, actually. This is kind of a hard one to evaluate. I kind of feel like you almost run out of action before you can get this off like multiple times. So a 2 mana that eventually becomes an 8/8 is just kind of okay, but we'll go with Bloodcurdle. And in this pack, is there anything really good? So Ram Through is a pretty good removal spell. 2 mana, hopefully kill something and do a little bit of damage is pretty strong. Besides that, Thieving Otter is pretty okay. But I think we probably take Memory Leak here because we already we have at least a toe into black here, and Memory Leak is just like there's no cost to running this card, right? Like it's a Thought Seize basically. You look at your opponent's hand and take anything that's not a land. But the cost for running these, especially at 3 mana, is your opponent could just run out of cards in their hand before you get a chance to make them discard. But with Memory Leak, that's not the case. It has Cycling 1, so it's awesome. Anything with Cycling 1 is just almost like busted because there's no cost to running it in your deck. So I think we stick in black here. We maybe should have taken Ram Through and just kind of spread ourselves up a bit more. So there is another Memory Leak, but we also have a Boon of the Wish Giver here. Checkpoint Officer is also pretty decent. I think better than Memory Leak, but I'm not sure it's worth going into a second color specifically for Checkpoint Officer. But I think if we're going to go into blue here, which it seems like we are, there's Frostlinks is a perfectly fine card, and there's Neutralize, which is perfectly fine. Cancel's already okay-ish in draft, not great, but okay. And having Cycling 2 on it just makes it definitely playable. But I think we take Boon, just because 6 mana draw 4 is really strong in draft, and, you know, in draft, card advantage is everything, so, in most cases. And so having that with the, you know, Cycling 1 again just means there's no real risk here. So here, Rumbling Rockslide is pretty good as just a 4 mana kill spell. We could also go with Frostlinks, that's fine. or run Gust of Wind. Gust of Wind is also pretty good in blue. It's not nearly as good as just like killing something, right? But it is decent. Is it worth going into a... I think we will take Rock Slide. We're just gonna kind of leave ourselves as open as we can here. So if we pull a rare out of the next pack that we really want to play, we kind of have multiple directions to go. Leah's Sword doesn't really fit with what we're doing here. We're looking like more of a controlling sort of deck, where we want to just remove things and stay alive and draw a bunch of cards. So I think we will take... This does fix for 2 of our colors. Savai Crystal is tempting. Frostlinks might just be the right thing, though. Yeah, we'll take the Frostlinks. That's fine. Yeah, we'll take the Frostlinks. Frostlinks is just a good card. Death's Oasis, I think, is actually bad. It's a cool card, for sure, but I don't think it's very good. It's just too easy to... Okay, so whenever a creature dies, you get to mill 2 and then return a creature card with mana cost less. Well, it's pretty hard to... I feel like for its mana cost being as stringent as it is, it's pretty hard to get those running, in a good way. And so I think actually most of these 3-color enchantments, the cycle of these, are pretty hard to make work in draft. I think we're actually going to take the Lava Serpent here. Just another card with cheap cycling cost, good in the late game, which is where we're trying to get to. So we're looking... I mean, we might just be straight up Grixis here. We want to take Facet Reader. Facet Reader's okay. I mean, our other choice is something like Thieving Otter. Thieving Otter doesn't really... I mean, maybe we... I guess we'll take Thieving Otter. Maybe there's... We find a reason to run a Thieving Otter. Reconnaissance Mission... I mean, it's got cycling too. Phase Dolphin... It's not great. I guess we just take the Cloud Piercer here. It's just a 5/4 with reach. A good way to kind of lock things down a bit. Yeah. Good thing to mutate onto. I don't think you generally want to mutate something... use this mutation ability necessarily to put it on something, but just as a target to get like some coincidental value out of. It's fine. Yeah, we'll take Pyrus Ceratops, I guess. It's okay. Good, not great. We'll take, I guess, Aegis Turtle. Yeah, we'll take Aegis Turtle. And nothing great here. Take the card we can probably run. This is an okay combat trick, but that's not really where we're at. Yeah, we're just taking the cards that are in our colors just in case, but probably not going to run any of these cards that we just picked. Christ Station is... Or Chris Station, I guess, because it's like crystal, is just okay. Maybe not even okay. 4 mana flash 1/6 is... There's a limit to how useful that... Well, okay, we'll take this. The Wolverine. Oy, so Kinnan, very good card in Constructed, very mediocre card in not Constructed. Call of the Death Dweller is kind of interesting. We don't have a lot of ways to turn that on. Glowstone Recluse is a decent card. Primal Empathy is good, again, if we're going for the long game, but we do need some creatures to make that work. So if we're kind of moving into the blue-red spells department, it does see... it does go down a bit, and it would mean we'd have to, like, we probably want to go down our black, but we really want to play this Blood Curdle, so it's kind of a, not a super easy decision here. I think we just take the Deadweight, stick in our colors, stick with Grixis. I think we're looking like more of a control deck than a Primal Empathy deck. Primal Empathy is definitely a very good card, but... So Flame Spill is great. 3 mana, deal 4 target damage to something is already good, and then you have the potential to deal a little bit of damage to your opponent. You can also just take another Farfinder or a Duskfang Mentor. Duskfang Mentor is also good, gives you something a lifelink counter, which is one of the most useful things. Like with these big creatures, if we put a lifelink counter on it, we can kind of save ourselves in a way that other abilities can't really. We can also play Dark Bargain for a little more card advantage. I think I'm actually going to take the Farbinder. Kind of want to take the Flame Spill, but Farfinder is just such a good card. I think that's the right choice. Okay, here's another one of the 3-color enchantments, and again, this is probably the worst one in draft. I think it's so bad. Either this one or the Teamer one. He's just, there's a lot of ways to make this busted and constructed, but in draft, it's just you're counting on a lot going right. So this is pretty good. It comes into play, gives something flying. And then we can start pumping things up. Is there anything we want more than that? Not really. Okay, so we'll take the Wingspan Mentor. And we're just going into Grixis here. Clash of Titans. Okay. This is a tricky card, because looking at it, it's just like 5 mana fight spell. That seems pretty bad. But it doesn't say your creature fights another creature. It says 2 creatures fight. So you can make 2 of your opponent's creatures fight here. So there's just a lot of ways to make this go well with an instant, right? When it's at instant speed. The fact that it's instant speed, it means there's all sort of combat trickery you can do. And I think we're just going to grab this. You know, for all I was talking about, we are just sort of open here. We're not necessarily in black, so if there's another color that's looking pretty good, these Farfinders mean we can get there. And we're not losing too much by losing black. We're losing some pretty good removal, but we should keep that in mind, that we're not like super locked into black. I think we just take Avian Oddity here. Yeah, I mean, good card. And I guess we just take the Evolving Wilds here. None of these are very exciting. Cathartic Reunion's fine, but I think we just take the Evolving Wilds. Yeah, we'll just take another Rumbling Rock Slide. So we've got pretty good removal now. We're not really locked into black by any means. So I'm going to take the black out for now, actually, just to leave us completely open. We got, you know, we would like to run these cards, but we could open a good rare next pack that's not black. Well, now that I say that, Dark Burden's pretty good. And we don't really have anything better here. Wingfold Terrans. I mean, I guess it's a 6. It can lock down things pretty well, pretty hard to kill, but I think we take the Dark Bargain. So we are looking to beat Grixis, but we're leaving ourselves a little bit open. This isn't the sideboard format, so I don't know if Keep Safe is worth running main deck. I guess I'll take the Phase Dolphin just in case we really need some extra. Okay, Pyroceratops is good. Do we want a Facet Reader instead? I mean, we are pretty low on 2. Yeah, I think we can actually take the Facet Reader. A 2-mana 1/2 is pretty bad, but we have no 2-drops right now, so we'll put this in the sideboard. If we need it, we can run Shredded Sails. Frenzied Raptor, sure. Yeah, there's another Pyroceratops. Do we want the Aegis Turtle instead? I think we do. We just want to lock things down. This should help keep us alive. Pyroceratops is a pretty good card, so it feels weird not to pick it over a little crappy turtle here, but the Labyrinth Raptor, I mean, it wants to be in an aggressive deck, right? It essentially is I guess we could just play it as like a 2-mana unblockable, basically. What else would we pick if we didn't pick that? Probably like a Duskfang Mentor, maybe, which is fine, or maybe a Neutralize. You know, potentially a Drannith Stinker would give us a 2-drop we wanted. I think we're actually going to play the Labyrinth Raptor, though. I mean, it's not like a bomb or anything, but it is good, and it lets us bring back in these other black cards. Okay. Well, we're not... Things have changed. We are going to be running this Narset. Holy crap, what a great pool. It's in our colors. Yeah, so our third color is now white. We are no longer playing black. Unless, I mean, we could potentially splash black if we need to, but wow, this goes great in our deck. Alright, Narset, calm down. It goes great in our deck with our theme of non-creature spells. I think we just take the pacifism here. Now that we're in white, I mean, it's fine late game though. Like, if we can't play this on turn 2, because white is going to be our splash color. We're mainly blue-red splashing white with these Farfinders. So, but it's okay if we can't play this on turn 2. Oh, Blitz of the Thunder Raptor is really good in our deck. We have a lot of instants and sorceries that'll be in our graveyard. So, another good one would be the Stringtail Heron, but I think we just need early interaction more than more threats. Well, speaking of early interaction, there's a Divine Arrow. Yeah, I guess we take that. We would like to, if we could pick up a little bit of fixing, we'd be happy about it. Though I actually don't know what this is. Okay, it's just a pump spell. I guess we just take the Thieving Otter here. Thieving Otter isn't super great. It's more of, I think, what you would in like the blue-red mutation deck rather than the blue-red spells deck, but it's fine. Frostlinks is good. slows things down, lets us get to our end game here with our big nasty spells, winning with our Narset. Man, we were so... picking up this Narset was a godsend. Really made this deck, took it from okay to, like, really good, so we're happy to see it. I'm kind of considering this Christ Station. We'll see how many playables we need. I mean, we're already kind of over, but I mean, just having a big 1/6 that will clog up the board for 4 mana maybe is worth it if our plan is to go late here. Oh, Lord Draxus is really good. Do we want that over the rest of the deck, or the rest of the pack? I think we do. Lord Draxus can get back some of our kill spells here, like our Rumbling Rock Slides and such. We didn't actually get any of the 2 mana red spell that kills things. I guess we take Patagia Tiger. Maybe we'll actually end up running that just as a kind of a finisher. We do need some finishers. We got like Lava Serpent and such, and I mean Narset will eventually kill our opponent, but let's see. Pyroceratops. Yep, taking. Kind of want to take the Glimmerbell like defensively, but I think Pyroceratops gives us that other finisher we want. So we're looking pretty good now. We've got Pyroceratopses to finish the game. We've got. I might not even run this Patagia Tiger. I don't know. I'll think about it. We don't really have humans for it to pay off with, right? Yeah, we don't. I don't think we have any humans, so it's just going to be a 3/4 flyer, or a 3/4 flyer for 5, which can get the job done. Don't get me wrong, but maybe we don't really need it in this deck. We'll think about it. Spell Eater Wolverine. We will turn this on pretty consistently, but is a wow, another Pyroceratops. Do we want that over Forbidden Friendship? Forbidden Friendship turns on our Blitz of the Thunder Raptor pretty well. I'm actually going to take the Forbidden Friendship, I think. And go down, pick the Christ Station here. Turn on, pick the Tentative Connection. Actually, maybe this Forbidden Friendship was a bad idea. And pick the Phase Dolphin. Alright, just the last picks here. Alright, so we have got an interesting deck going on here. We could potentially still run this like Memory League. Again, it's cycling 1. We could run 4 colors here. We have an Evolving Wilds, we have 2 Farfinders. We could just sneak in a Swamp, and I don't know, we didn't really get any tap lands though, so our mana isn't fantastic. We have, you know, 7 islands, 7 mountains, 5 plains, just in terms of lands, thanks to this Evolving Wilds. We do have these Farfinders to kind of help us out, so it's not like we're that dire in terms of actual mana fixing, but maybe we can't really support a 4th color, because if we move in a swamp here, that means we're probably moving down a plains, so our total plains count will be like, we'll just have like 5 plains, and we want to be able to hit this Narset every game. You know, we don't want to be like mana screwed trying to hit the Narset, so maybe it's not worth bringing in like this Blood Curdle. Let's see how much removal we actually have. We have 2 Rumbling Rock Slides, we have Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, we have Divine Arrow and Pacifism, and Clash of the Titans. So we've got like 5 removal spells here. That's probably fine. Thieving Otter is actually pretty decent because we have this Wingspan Mentor to put a flying counter on it and start drawing some cards, and also we have an Avian Odyssey to do the same thing, put a flying counter on it, and be a good source of card advantage. I think we're probably going to be fighting to stay alive. I think that the end game, now that we have a Narset that we're working towards, we should be able to win most late games. We have, you know, like a Lava Serpent as a late threat, a Boon of the Wishgiver is good. We have a lot of removal spells, but probably we're going to be struggling to stay alive more than anything. That kind of makes me want to bring in this Blood Curdle, just so we can like load up on as much removal spell as we can. If we had more ways to loot it away, I'd feel better about it. We do have Facet Reader to help us with consistency. We can just loot away the Blood Curdle, and it's even in our graveyard is pretty good because we, you know, it powers up this Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, and we can eventually get it back with this Lord Draxus whenever we do have our black mana. This is tough. We don't have a lot of fixing is the problem. Farfinders do help, but I'm not sure we can support 4 colors, but I think I'm going to try. We'll see if this ends up being a mistake. If it is, we can always take Blood Curdle back out. I think if we do this, we also bring in Memory Leak as well, because there's really no cost to running Memory Leak. It's just a 1-mana cycler. Basically a free thing we can put in our graveyard for Blitz of the Thunder Raptor and Lord Draxus and Spell Eater Wolverine. Just a good thing to loot away. So yeah, I think we go up the Memory Leak. We'll go down the Because the Batagia Tiger, is that worth going down? We do need some ways to finish the game. I think we go down this Forbidden Friendship now that we have some more instant sorceries. This was good because it was a 2-mana play that was an instant sorcery and could kind of stabilize us, gets us 2 creatures on the board, but I don't think we really need it now that we have this Memory Leak and the Split Curdle in. So let's cut 5 cards. Cut the... I guess we cut the Batagia Tiger. Cut the... So this is more of a 1-drop. Cut the... I guess we'll cut the Cloud Piercer. Cut the Divine Arrow. And I guess cut one of these turtles. Maybe we don't need 2. And then we will... Actually, we're going to actually cut a land. So we will cut a swamp. We only need 1 swamp. And do we want to go up plains here? Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... White sources, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be fine. We have enough ways to kind of loot through our deck that hopefully that'll be okay. We got a lot of cyclers here, you know, and I think this is what we'll go with. So this is another. We ended up in 4 colors again, but I mean, Farfinder makes this kind of stuff possible. We actually went down a land because we have so much cycling. We hopefully can hit our land drops. Like we got all these like Lava Serpents, which is more of a 2-drop, and we've got Avian Oddity, which is more of a 3-drop, and so hopefully we're able to find our lands here. Facet Reader can draw us into it, so I think this is what we're going to go with. Kind of a weird looking deck where we're every color but green, and we're basically mono removal spells, and we're just trusting these Pyroceratopses and this Narset to basically get us to victory. Maybe these Themed Otters with some flying counters on them. We're basically just kill everything, right? We actually can't mutate up this Lord Draxus more than once. You know, that was one reason I was considering keeping in the Cloud Piercer, so we could kind of double up on this. But I think even just as a one-time, you know, if we just mutate onto a Farfinder and get back a removal spell or this Memory Leak we cycled away or whatever, that's fine. And then, yeah, we can eventually just cycle into our Narset and hopefully finish off the game from there. But we'll see how it goes. It's definitely an experimental deck. Very, very odd, but it's got some power to it. So let's hop into game 1 and see how this goes. All right, game 1 against Night Vision. That's a cool name. And we'll keep this. We've got Spell Eater Wolverine as a turn 3 play, and then look, this Memory Leak is gonna be good for us. So play the Mountain, pass turn. I'm gonna just cycle away this Memory Leak, I think. Yep, cycle Memory Leak. Get a Sorcery in our graveyard. Okay, there's another Rumbling. Okay, and we will also cycle this Lava Serpent. We do want to just hit our land drops here, so we're willing to cycle away... Okay, Bastion of Remembrance. Willing to cycle away this Lava Serpent. There's always some tension about whether we want to keep that or not. Evolving Wilds. Okay, blue makes it easy. Now we can just Thieving Otter. And our plan is to Wingspan Mentor, put a flying counter on that, start drawing some cards. Next turn, see what our opponent's up to. So they're on Sultai. Okay. Hopefully they won't have a deadweight here to kill our Thieving Otter, but there's nothing they can do at instant speed, so it'll have to be now if they have it. Okay. I don't think there's any black mana instant speed problem card for us here, so we will play Wingspan Mentor, put a flying counter on our Otter, get in for 2, draw a card. Now even if they killed it, it's kind of paid for itself. And we will just get this Evolving Wilds out of the way. Go get our... What do we need at this point? I guess we'll get another blue source. And we do have a couple kill spells here to just kill any sort of problematic creature they've got. Really, we're more worried about removal right now. We don't want them to kill this Thieving Otter. Well, okay. If they're going to kill the Thieving Otter, that's not a bad way for it to go. We will activate this, go get a red source, or I mean a blue source. That does take them down a creature. Wow, and that was their whole turn too. We're happy about that for sure. So, and we'll play black here. Just attack with Wingspan Mentor. We don't have any flyers, and yeah, we'll just get down another threat. There is some temptation to play a red source there and leave up Clash of Titans, but I mean, oh, that's actually pretty brutal for us. But that is a great thing to kill with Clash of Titans. Okay, we will Thieving Otter. Yeah, we're gonna Thieving Otter here, and pass the turn. No attacks. So Clash of Titans should be able to kill If they just mutate onto this Blitz Leech, we're a little less happy about that. But otherwise, Clash of Titans should be able to... Yeah, we're going to be able to 2-for-1 them here with Clash of Titans, which is really nice. Especially if they mutate onto this Polywog. That's what we really want. Oh, yeah. Okay, this should be game. We're going to just, like, 1,000,000-for-1 them here with Clash of Titans. Yep. They make us discard a land, sure. Get in for 5. That is a little... No, oh, they're not even going to attack. Okay. We're just going to do it now before they untap and potentially have a counterspell. Just make these two kill each other. Good God, that's brutal. That is so strong. Dear God. Don't get in. Draw a card. No land. But we do get Avian Oddity to put a flying counter on our Thieving Otter. So this deck is coming together pretty much exactly as we imagined. We still have 2 kill spells in hand that will kill essentially anything in their entire deck. I think we will cycle Avian Oddity, put a counter on Thieving Otter, and yeah, I guess we just tap down this Cavern Whisperer with Frostlinks. Kind of redundant because we just put a flying counter on our Thieving Otter, which is what we really want to get in, but I think it's still, locking it down for a couple turns is still worth it. And we are just going to hold on to this mountain to discard to, well, I guess we already used our land drop for this turn, but we do have this mountain in hand just to discard if they do mutate something onto this Cavern Whisperer. It's not the end of the world. And Boon of the Wishgiver means we're about to have even more card advantage, and yeah, we're pretty happy about things right now. Still have 2 Rumbling Rock Slides to deal with any sort of problematic threat. Right now our Rumbling Rock Slides are going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage for 4. So kill anything in the format, basically. It is a sorcery speed spell. Okay, that's not bad. Do we want to cycle Boon of the Wishgiver now? No, I think we just discard Mountain and Boon. I think we just keep both of the removal spells. There's some temptation to keep Boon so we can draw a bunch of cards and come back from this a bit, but I think we'd rather keep the both the removal spells and just not spend a turn tapping out just to draw a bunch of cards. So this is, if they have that 2-mana spell that's, counter something that targets a creature you control, this kind of sucks, but I think we still go for it. Alright. Oof, that's good. That basically locks them out of that discard effect, which is nice. Go ahead and activate Wingspan Mentor to put a counter on it, and we're off to the races here. Farfinder's fine. Probably just play Pyroceratops plus Rumbling Rock Slide next turn if we draw another land. Man, this deck's looking pretty good. Thieving Otter's a scary card. Like, when you play it a 3-mana 2/2 that draws a card, like, it seems pretty innocuous, but there's just so many ways in this format to make this card a problem. There's Porcuparrot, where you can ping and draw. There's all sorts of ways to give it flying via mutation or flying counters like we're doing here, and yeah, it's scary. If we don't draw a land next turn, we can go Farfinder, get a land, play Pyroceratops. Oh, wow. They're just tapping out here. Oh, Blitz the Thunderraptor's pretty good. So we can't quite kill him this game. Alright, this is just a creature, yeah. So do we... Yeah, I think we just go as wide as we can here. So first we'll get in with everything. We're not going to take the time to pump with Wingspan Mentor. We'd rather just deploy some threats here. Play Farfinder. Go and get a whatever, doesn't matter. Play the island, play Pyroceratops. And now, I mean, unless they have some sort of wrath, we should be fine. I just realized, I mean, well, if they have that spell that's like kill all odd converted mana cost cards or all even converted mana cost cards, that's kind of scary. Alright. That's not going to save them, though. Parcel Beast, sure. Just as a creature, but I mean, we've got a way to get both of these out of the way, so... And a Heartless Axe. Oh, that doesn't... I guess I just to get the flying counter off it, that's fair, but fortunately for our opponent, we get to just blow up the Parcel Beast. blow up the Polywog, and man, this deck is ridiculous. And just finish things off. Woof. Okay, so our Jeskai Black deck, calling back to the old days of Standard with Jeskai Black, it is looking pretty good. Just mono removal, and we get there eventually with our little dorks, our little otters, and our Pyroceratopses, and our 3-mana 1/1s. We eventually kill our opponent, but we can just kill, like, we had so much removal there. Our opponent never really had a chance to do anything. We just kept, you know, back-to-back killing all their best threats, and that Clash of Titans was absolutely brutal. 2-for-1ing them, not only, well, 3-for-1ing them, because they were mutated onto that Polywog as well, but not just for 3-for-1, but, like, it was, like, 11, 12 mana worth of creatures as well. It's not just a 3-for-1, but like 5 mana for 12 mana, you know, like ridiculous. So Clash of Titans look pretty broken there, and just in general, I mean, just having all the removal in the world, usually pretty good in limited. So our deck's looking pretty good. We didn't even draw our Narset, and we just crushed this person. So sweet. On to the next game. Alright, game 2 with our weird 4-color Jeskai Black Spellslinger deck, and we're going to keep this. It's a little questionable. I mean, technically we have something to do on turn 3 by cycling this Avian Odyssey, but, you know, of course cycling the Oddity when there's no creatures on board is less than ideal, because then it's just a 3-mana, you know, discard and draw a card. Not the best thing. So our opponent has like a really quick start here. We could be in some trouble, but we do have our Narset in hand, and Narset's so good. If we can get up to Narset, we should be in good shape. Well, that's scary. Okay, that gets us at least an actual 3-drop here with this Frostlings. We can slow our opponent down here, but you either play this. Yeah, they don't have a. I was gonna say you could have a companion that would make you play this. Like if you have Luris and you have to play everything, you know, 2 converted mana costs or lower, or if you have Umori and everything has to be a creature, stuff like that, I could see playing this, but outside of that, this is a pretty bad card, unless you're in some sort of hyper-aggressive deck, where the 2 damage is going to be very important. So, it's good we drew an actual 3-drop. We're still on the play with that 3-drop, so that's still a little bit late to be starting off, but it's a red-black, so our opponent does appear to be in a aggressive deck here. Alright, well, pass turn. At least they didn't have a 2-drop. If they had curved into like a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, we could be in some really serious trouble. But it looks like they're a little slower than that. Okay. No 3-drop either? Okay, Night Squad Commando. Pretty good. Okay, well, we also have Grixis colors. Both of us got natural Tron here. Frostlings locks things down pretty well here. If they like use a removal spell on it, just wow, they're in the exact same colors we are. That's crazy. Another Jeskai Black deck. That's kind of nuts. But I guess this format does have some great fixing. Maybe 4-color decks are just normal. Maybe that's not a weird thing. Barfinder is great. That'll get us to our White Source. Do we want to... We could potentially do a 4-drop here. No, I think we just want to get our... We just want to get our White Source and get this Narset down as soon as possible, I think. So we'll get a White Source. Play the White Source and pass turn. And next turn our plan will be to Narset, minus Narset, kill a thing. We'll see if our opponent's got anything... Oh, they're just going to cycle, sure. Phase Dolphin. Alright. We should be able to kill that. Alright, okay. We will Narset.
Let me demonstrate the prowess of my ancestors.
You know what? Actually, we're gonna plus Narset rather than minus her. Choose white, and we're gonna pacify this dolphin. Hopefully they don't have a counter. Okay, great. And we'll pass turn. Rather than put our Narset down to 2 or a removal spell, because they were holding up 2 mana there. If they like did a removal spell at instant speed, they could kill our Narset. What is this? Give it lifelink and make it a 3/4? Sure. Alright, we will eat this and chump. Yeah, now our opponent's just in real bad shape, so we will draw a card, try to kill this Night Squad Commando.
Consider the future,
Yeah, we'll just
then
discard this
strike.
oddity. Blow up Night Squad Commando. Play a land. And yeah, we will Pyroceratops and pass turn. And I mean, we're good to go now. Opponent's gonna have something pretty good to come back from this. Probably gonna stop playing lands at this point, now that we've got enough lands that these rock slides should kill just about anything. We want to tick up. If we tick up, we could have enough mana to Thieving Otter and also Rumbling Rock Slide. I guess we do that. That's probably better than just
Open the mind, you must first open the heart.
Alright, so we will play Thieving Otter. Play Rumbling Rock Slide on the Push Me Poacher. Get in with the Pyroceratops. And pass turn. And our opponent just is... they gotta draw a bomb here, not to just be in dire straits. Well, that could help. That could definitely snipe one of our creatures. Oh, okay. Yeah, we will minus Narset, draw a card. I guess we just discard the island. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and kill this Thundermane. Get in. Draw a card. Oh, and Lava Serpent's great. We'll just pass turn here. We can Lava Serpent next turn, smash opponent in the face for a ton of damage. We're just leaving back this Frostlings just in case our opponent has something like a Lava Serpent. Okay, they're just gonna cast the Dreamtail here. Yeah, that's fine. Oh wow. Not this turn, but we want to minus because we're gonna lose. Huh? We're gonna lose this Narset here. Yeah, I guess we just. I guess Narset's done our job. Draw a card, discard a Pyroceratops, blow up the Dreamtail Heron, and like even though we threw away our Narset there, we are in really great shape now. Our opponent should just be dead here. So unless our opponent just has like the top deck of the century, this should be over. We even have Blitz of the Thunder Dragon or Raptor to clear a blocker out of the way if we needed to, but we don't need to. Alright, so yeah, our Jeskai Black looked a little more impressive than our opponent's Jeskai Black deck. So sweet, on to the next one. Alright, game 3 against Perchy, and we will keep this for sure. I'm probably just going to cycle this Boon. I don't know. We'll wait and see what our opponent does. If our opponent looks aggressive at all, we're probably going to cycle this Boon. Okay, blue-red. I think you know what? We'll hold on to it. Frostlings is good. And pass turn. Blue-red makes me think they're doing some... Okay, Jeskai. But still not the most aggressive colors, unless they start playing, like, cycling threats or something. So I think we hold on to Boon. Well, I guess we just run out Frostlings. 2 mana, 2/2, but the reason we're running it out now is that if our opponent does nothing, we can cycle this Avian Oddity, put a flying counter on our Frostlings, and then a 3 mana 2/2 flyer that drew us a card basically is fine. If our opponent plays a threat here, we have Blood Curdle. I mean, we have Rumbling Rock Slide. We don't have the mana for Blood Curdle yet, but Rumbling Rock Slide should be able to deal with pretty much anything. Woo! Okay. Yeah, that's dying right now. Yeah, opponent... Woo! They ran it out there, but... I mean, the payoff was big, right? If they ran that out there and we weren't able to kill it right away, they would be able to mutate things onto it. Wow, that doesn't seem very good. Yeah, I think we'll cycle Memory Leak. Okay. Play a Mountain and play Pyroceratops. Putting a flying counter on Pyroceratops is pretty good too. It means all of our you know, it having trample gives it a little bit of evasion, but this mean, you know, putting a flying counter with trample, that should mean that it gets in a good amount of damage. Well, so we can't cast Boon of the Wishgiver. I think we just try to hit our land drops here. We'll put a flying counter on our Pyroceratops. Okay, Evolving Wilds is good, and no attacks. Pass turn. Get a blue source off this Evolving Wilds, cast Boon of the Wishgiver, put ourselves up a ton of mana. Aegis Turtle. It's fine. Not worried about an Aegis Turtle. Splendor Bear. Okay, so our opponent's just putting as many threats on the board as they can. Wonder if we should we get the black source instead of a blue source? Is it more important that we are able to take threats off the board here? I think I actually am. I'm gonna get a black source. As weird as this is, I think we're more likely to draw into a blue source, and we have things to do right now, so it's not like we just desperately need to draw cards. Oh, Clash of Titans. Their stats line up kind of weird for Clash of Titans. So I think I just pass the turn here. If they play something, we can potentially Clash of Titans to blow them out. Or we can just Blood Curdle, grow our Pyroceratops, and try to block this Splendor Mare. That's plan A, is Blood Curdling here. But potentially Lord Draxus. So they're going to get back the Rumbling Rock Slide. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we have to Splendor Bear, take away their removal spell. Hopefully they don't have another mutator to put on this Lord Draxus. It was a little painful, but we don't want them to get back that Rock Slide. Oof. Okay, that's bad. But it does mean... Yeah, they get back the removal spell. Yep. Yep, take 5. No blocks. We could potentially still just kill this mutation pile here. We might have to end up doing that with Clash of Titans. Alright, we'll pass a turn. Rumbling Rock Slide. Do we kill the Cloud Pierce or do we kill the Porcuparrot? This is tough. Okay. We just take it for now. Let's see what happens. We can kill the Porcuparrot still. I'm going to take 5 from this Cloud Piercer, which sucks, but... Okay, with Clash of Titans. Kill this now that it's tapped. Still take 5. Pass turn. Farfinder's pretty good, so we'll play Farfinder. That can chump this Cloud Piercer. Go get a blue source. Play Thieving Otter. Oh, I should have played the Pyroceratops, but that's okay. Yeah. I should have played the Pyroceratops there. For some reason I thought we had 6 mana instead of 7. But we can still chump this Cloud Piercer so we're not just dead. Do need to kill it. Sanctuary Smasher gives first strike. They just okay, they're just casting it. That's pretty scary though. Oh, maybe we'll block with a 1/1 to not die. Jeez. Is there a 3 mana spell that can help us here? Let's see, we got 1. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll have 5 instants and sorceries in the graveyard if we cycle. So I think we play Pyroceratops, and I think we're actually going to have to cycle this Boon of the Wishgiver to try to find a removal spell for one of these big threats. Okay, they attack. Man, it would have been great if we could have Clash of Titan these two. Alright, we gotta cycle here. Make sure we don't tap ourselves out of red mana. We maybe should have done this main phase, actually. Oh, we actually did draw it. Yeah, we actually did draw it. Sweet. So we will kill the scarier threat here, the first striker. Wow, that actually worked out exactly how we wanted. Then we'll double block the Cloud Piercer. It does suck we're not going to be able to draw the cards, but this keeps us alive at least. Double block. If they have a pump spell, then so be it. We can't just... We have to try to get this thing off the board. We'll see. Okay, alright, okay. We have somewhat stabilized. I mean, they... Ooh, Riel. Well, we got a blocker for Riel. That can get them a lot of card advantage very quickly, though. So, that's scary. If they have, like, a Cathartic Reunion, they just, like, draw 5 or whatever. Ugh. Wrinkle Leosaur, okay. We still can block with a turtle, profitably. Made it just a 0-5. That was kind of weird. I guess there's another mutation they want to kind of like double it up with. I don't know. Okay, Spell Eater Wolverine is at least something. Still can't really do anything here, but that we're not going to complain about bodies. We'd love to draw like a Narset, of course, but we wouldn't complain about too much at this point. Land we will hold on to. Hopefully Narset should give us a better endgame, although Riel is very scary. Oh, Lord Draxus is great. So what do we want to mutate her onto? I guess the turtle. Yeah, on the turtle. If they're going to kill something in response, we want them to kill the turtle. Yeah, we'll keep the turtle. The 2/2 body doesn't really matter here. So we want to take the boon. 1 mana spells? No, we don't. So we'll just draw 4 here. Draw 4. Breathe. Be able to exhale a little bit here. And now, if they don't kill us this turn, we get to Wingspan Mentor onto our Thieving Otter to start drawing some cards. Also can use Frostlinks. Oh, okay, that's gonna kill us. Yeah, and it also pumps their Riel. Yep. That's pretty scary. If they can cycle a card here, it has 5. Okay, that Riel is gonna... We gotta block it. I guess we just want to pacify this Riel and Frostlinks down the Porcupirate. So we will block. Sucks to lose the Lord Draxus. We don't really have that many mutators anyway, so... We would rather just kill this Riel, right? Let's see. Can we do everything? Yeah, we can do everything. So what we'll do is Wingspan Mentor first. Put on the Thieving Otter. Get in with Thieving Otter. Lava Serpent's okay. Now we will Frostlinks down this Porcupirate. And... do we want to pacify the Riel? I guess so. Yeah, we'll pacify the Riel. And... pass turn. If we can kill this Porcupirate, we'll be in okay shape. I think we have to kill that rather than the Riel. That's why we put the pacifism on the Riel, because if we do end up drawing like our removal spells, I think we're just gonna have to kill... Okay. That's actually a little scary. We need 3 creatures to block that Sonorous Howlbender. It isn't really what we wanted to see. I guess we'll attack first. Oh, I guess this has haste. That was maybe a mistake. But we'll attack first. See if we can find removal for the Porcupirate. No removal. Yeah, we'll cast Farfinder. Dig all the lands out of our deck. Yeah. Go and get a... I guess it doesn't matter. Go get an island, I guess. We only got 6 cards left in our deck, actually. Do we play this Lava... I think we do. I think... There's some argument to leaving up this Wingspan Mentor, but this Porcupirate kills our Wingspan Mentor... Or, this Porcupirate kills our Thieving Otter, even if we do pump it with Mentors, so... We're just going to leave this back on defense. Blade Banish, okay. Well, we still have 3 blockers back for Howlbonder, so we're not just dead, but we're pretty dang close. Because this Porcupirate can just attack us. You know, they don't have to ping us with it. Although, really, they can just leave it back, ping a threat if we play it, or just ping our face if we don't. So that's probably what they'll do, but Okay. That spell's doomed for us. We gotta find a removal spell this turn, is what it comes down to, essentially. Yeah, hits us for 3. Yeah, we have to triple block this guy. Oh. Okay. We play Narset and gain 2 life. We go up to 4. Is it better to attack with Thieving Otter? So we have 2 choices here. We can play Narset, minus her, and just hope we draw something to kill the Porcupirate. Or we can attack with Thieving Otter. If they don't block, it gets in, we minus... But then we die in the backswing to Skybonder. Unless we draw 2 removal spells. Alright. Either way, we either have to draw 2 or 1. So we're gonna try to... Okay, and there's a land, and we will scoop it up. So they got us, they got us. Ugh, we just weren't able to kill that mutation pile, unfortunately. Oof. Yeah, that was, it kind of showed where our deck can go wrong, I guess, if we just sort of stall out or kind of draw things in the wrong order. If we had drawn that Narset a little bit earlier, we probably would have been fine, but we kind of just ended up with only lands left in our deck besides that Narset, and we didn't really have a way to deal with our opponent's threats. So, yeah, I don't think there was a way we could have played to win that match, but it's rough. If things had gone a little bit differently, it definitely could have gone another way, but oh well, on to the next one. Alright, next game against Anathema, and I guess we keep this. We have Memory Leak to cycle away, a lot of 3-mana plays. If we draw any land, if we draw our white source, we're especially happy. Okay. Pass turn. We are definitely going to just cycle away this Memory Leak. Another Serrated Scorpion. Maybe... this card looks bad to me, but we've seen it a lot. Maybe there's something to it I'm missing. Okay. Cycle. Land, land, land. That's all we want. That's not a land. Well, we're going to be... We've got all the 3 drops in the world. If we can just draw a land here, we will be golden. Is our opponent on, like, mono black aggro? Well, I guess we will cycle this. Oh my god. Well, I guess this was maybe the risk of keeping this hand. We'll go down a... Jeez. I guess a Thieving Otter? I guess Frostlynxes will probably be better in this scenario to help us kind of slow things down, whereas a Thieving Otter is kind of better when we're ahead. Come on, 1 land gets us to Farfinders, gets us to... Okay, now we should be good. So, do we want to Frostlynx this thing down? It's just 1 damage, whatever. I don't care about 1 damage. Go get a white source. Pass the turn. Alright, they're just pumping up their Scorpion, sure. We can Frostlynx that down. Hopefully we'll draw a land next turn. If we don't, we might need a Farfinder again, but... Cavern Whisper, okay. Well, oh, now we can't even kill it with Rumbling Rockslide next turn. Guess we go down Avian Odyssey. Take 5. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, I think we have to just Frostlynx it this turn. Frostlynx, stop the damage. Try to hit our land next turn so we can Rumbling Rockslide this thing. Get it off the battlefield before it goes too crazy. Alright, just gonna deadweight us. They're all mono black. That's new. Let's see what they got. Another mutation would hurt. Especially if it's like a second Cavern Whisperer. Alright, it's just flashing in a 4-2. Pyroceratops. So we can kill the 4-2 with Blaze of the Thunder Raptor, or Bliss of the Thunder Raptor, which I guess we do. So we'll go... Huh. Yeah, we'll go Farfinder... Yeah. Farfinder, go get a black source. Our 1 swamp. And I think we're actually just going to do this now, because I'm afraid they would have that spell that gives it a +1/+1 counter at instant speed. We don't want that to happen, so we'll just do that and pass turn. We may just double chump with a Farfinder here. This thing has Menace, so we can't just chump it with 1. Boot Nipper, sure. Is it worth saving 5 damage? I guess not, because this boot nipper's still going to be around. So that's going to hit us for at least 2 if we double jump there. And I guess we just rumbling rock slide, right? Yeah. Just fire off the rumbling rock slide, hope it dies. I guess, okay. The danger there is... Yeah, we still take that 2 damage, and pass turn. The danger there is they could still have that spell that gives it a +1/+1 counter at instant speed, but we're lucky and they didn't, so... Now we got blocks for this boot nipper, so we should be okay. Blitz Leech. Interesting. Kind of limited on what we can do. I don't think we want to pacify this Blitz Leech, so I guess we'll just tap it down. It's just so easy to trade with a Blitz Leech that it doesn't feel like we should be pacifying that. Our opponent is at a ridiculously high life total, so it's not like we're exactly close to killing them here. Sure. Clash of Titans is very good. Yeah, I think we just pass the turn and hold that up. Leave our Frostlinks back to block, but if they flash in another creature here, like if they flash in another one of these Blitz Leeches, we can make them fight each other. That'd be awesome. Okay, they don't flash anything in. Let's see if they just attack. They don't. Okay. Oh, wow. Jeez. Okay, I guess we do get rid of this Blitz Leech now. 5 mana kill Blitz Leech feels pretty bad, but we can pacify the Void Beckoner, so that's what we'll do. Pacify the Void Beckoner. We would like to draw another land at some point. Play Facet Reader, attack for 2. Okay, and now our opponent doesn't have anything going on. We do have a Rumbling Rock Slide to deal with future threats. Okay, Pyroceratops. Attack. And attack. Well, we'll leave back the Facet Reader. We'll do some looting. See if we can dig our way into some action here. Dark Bargain's pretty good. That takes them... They get to look at the top 3, take the best 2. Pretty good. Draw with Facet Reader. Well, discard an island. Wolverine's pretty good. We will attack and attack. Play another Pyroceratops. Pass turn. Man, there's just... I don't know if they're flooding or what, but... Mono black seems like a weird choice in this format. Like, there's so much fixing. Like, surely playing a second color costs almost nothing, right? In terms of, like, consistency. Picking up an Evolving Wilds or a tap land here or there makes it so easy, so I don't know why you would want to just stick to one color. Unless there was... I can't even think of a payoff in, like, mono black. Alright, there's another Lurking Deadeye, sure. They're gonna mutate it onto the Void Beckoner. Okay. I guess we draw, see if there's... Well, discard the Evolving Wilds, and I guess we discard this Wolverine. Okay, we will blow up the Lurking Deadeye, pump up our Pyroceratops. We're trying to close the game out here before they can draw their way out of this. Get them for a bunch. Plan on looting away this land with Facet Reader. It's a little kind of... Ooh, another Dark Bargain. At least that does 2 damage to him. But it felt kind of bad using that Rumbling Rock Slide on a 4/2. But we wanted to get that thing out of the way and pump up our threats here at the same time. Let's discard this Mountain. Wingspan Mentor is pretty good. Okay, we'll play Wingspan Mentor. Get flying to one of our Pyroceratopses. And attack, attack, attack. They had another Lurking Deadeye, sure. That'll trade with our Pyroceratops. We at least get in 1 point of damage. I guess, actually, let's do this. Let's draw a card. Okay. If we drew a Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, we could have killed it there. But Blood Curdle's fine. That should mean we win next game, or next turn. That means we can basically make this Frostlings and this Pyroceratops unblockable. Oh! Okay, another Dark Bargain. Okay, so I don't know what our opponent's deck is, really, this mono black strategy, but they had a lot of Dark Bargains. Maybe they just thought they didn't need another color. Alright, this should be game. We can give Menace to our Frostlings. Let's see. We're at 5 life. If they have a... Do they have a flash threat, maybe? Well, you know what? I guess we just... They could have a... Okay, we're just gonna go for the kill here. If they have a removal spell at instant speed, they could kill our Pyroceratops. So, I don't think we want to just pump it with Wingspan Mentor and trust that that gets there. I think we would rather also give evasion to our Frostlings. And we lose a life. Attack. Oh, they gain a life too, don't they? Okay, that's actually bad. Now it means we don't have lethal if they kill our Pyroceratops. I guess we leave back our Facet Reader then. They did have the... Okay, they did have the Heartless Act. But they should still... yeah, they're still dead. Okay. Alright, so we still killed them, but it got a little scary there. Unless they have something at 1 mana. They're stopping like they got something, but I can't think of anything that would matter here at 1 mana. Like they could cycle or something, but we just have the Salty Timeout? What's going on? I do believe we have the Salty Timeout. Anathema. For shame. Alright, after a few minutes of browsing my phone, he finally timed out, so Anathema got a little mad because we kind of kicked his butt, but alright, sweet. We were able to beat the mono deck, the mono black weird, I don't even know what's going on kind of deck, so I don't know if it's a good sign or if anybody could beat that deck, but alright, on to the next one. Okay, next game against Mr. Mixelplick. This one's tough. I think we keep it. We have Wolverine for turn 3 play. We are on the play, so it feels a little better, even though it's just kind of going to be a 3-2. We're definitely going to cycle this Boon of the Wishgiver. We're just so far away from casting it. If we can get to 1 blue source, we have a Narset online, so yeah, we're also going to cycle opponent. Lava Serpent, it will also be cycled away. Yeah. I guess it's cycling too, so we're not going to be able to do anything else this turn anyway. Looking for a blue source. If we can go Spell Eater into Narset, I'll feel pretty good. Because we can discard this like Rumbling Rock Slide or Thieving Otter to... that's a little scary. Okay. If they're going to be able to give something Trample and Haste, which when we have a Planeswalker feels kind of scary. Well, alright. Play out the Wolverine. Pass turn. Haven't quite found the blue source yet, or the black source. Kind of feeling the pain of our weird mana base this game a little bit. We do have this Rumbling Rock Slide if they play something really scary. Alright, we're not going to do it on the Recluse. This needs 3 instants or sorceries. No. No attacks. I guess I think we actually have to... Okay, that was a mistake. We should have attacked there. I think we actually have to kill that because if they mutate something onto it, it's going to by definition have... well... Here I think we do just pass. We could Rumbling Rock Slide, give this thing double strike, get in for 6. But I think we would rather save this Rumbling Rock Slide for a threat that actually matters and not a dumb old Frenzy Raptor that's not going to do anything. Especially once we get double strike online, that thing can't block our Spell Eater Wolverine. Our Spell Eater Wolverine just does more damage. Huh. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. Okay, pass turn. Need a blue source. Need a blue source. A Blister Spit Gremlin. Not too worried about Blister Split. Opponent cycles, sure. Well, okay, we'll play Pyroceratops. This does 1 damage to each opponent, but you have to pay 1 mana and tap it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap it. This is, I mean, it's not good because of the, you pay 1 mana and tap it. If it was just tap it and it deals 1 damage, and then you can kind of combo it to tap it 2 or 3 times a turn, then sure. Okay, they didn't really, they just basically gave their Gem Razor haste. I'm not sure they should have put it on the Gremlin there. I don't really see the benefit of that. They could have just tapped the football if the idea was to give it haste. Oh, there's another mountain. We will just kill this Gem Razor. Leave back our Pyroceratops on defense as a 3/4 to block this 3/1. Gosh, we gotta hit a blue source soon. We're almost halfway through our deck. Bristling Boar's kind of scary. Sacrifice a creature or deal 2 damage in a target. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's play another Pyroceratops. Pass the turn. This is kind of scary because that means we can't really... I don't think this spell is super great in general, but we can't really play our Narset, because if we minus our Narset to kill something, they can just sack in a response and then kill the Narset. Okay, I guess we just trade with Bristling Boar. Feels kind of weird, but we're just trying to stall out here. Okay, there's our only other white source, I think, but alright, we'll pass. We might have to trade with this Sabertooth, which sucks. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna trade with a Sabertooth. As bad as that feels. Come on. Oh my gosh. We are not in great shape. Oh man. I wonder how much of our deck that's remaining is just blue sources at this point. Because we have our actual blue source, we have our Evolving Wilds, we have our... This is insane. Well, I guess that's the reason maybe we shouldn't have blocked with our Pyroceratops, because this Lord Draxus would have allowed us to... We can cast the Lord Draxus for just red if it's a mutate, but we need... Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Not looking good. This is insane. Oh, yay. And there's Kogla, which is going to kill us next turn. Okay, we're probably just dead here. I have to... Okay, there's the blue source. We can maybe pull it back from here. Okay. We're going to have to Frostlinks down the Kogla. Fire Prophecy is not good. We were going to be able to Lord Draxus onto the... Problem is this Weaponize the Monster is going to mean we're going to die really quick. Okay, another blue spell somehow. So, you can Narset. Just think I have Trample. It does not have Trample. I think we Narset. Tick up, add a blue mana.
I prefer a peaceful resolution, but I'll fight if I must.
Add a blue mana.
Paths lie before me.
Oh, is this only on non-creature spells? Oh my gosh, I screwed that up. And we're just dead. Okay, I played that turn wrong. Jeez, well... Oh, yeah, that was a little bit insane. That was... I mean, we have not the best mana in the world, but that was literally... We were halfway through our deck, and... I'm gonna have to do the math on that one, so I'll tell you at the start of the next game how... Just how unlikely that was, but we were about halfway through our deck and we saw one blue source, so just a little unfortunate, but yeah, whatever. On to the next game. We could have also maybe survived if we played that last turn differently. I could have played like the Thieving Otter to chump the Kogla, although we still do take 2 then from this Draenith Stinger, and then they can sack 2 creatures, deal 2 more to us. which would put us, you know, we had 7 life, that would put us down to 6. So if they had anything else, we would be dead. They drew a removal spell, we were dead. You know, actually they could have given Kogla trample as well with the land there. So I think we were just dead actually no matter what we did there, because even if we played a creature, they would get the trample damage through. I guess what we should have done is played Narset, ticked her down, and tried to draw into our Lava Serpent. And if we drew our Lava Serpent exactly, we could have discarded that Lava Serpent and hit the Kogla and killed it, and that would have kept us alive for at least a turn. So that's what we should have done in retrospect. Or also played the Narset minus her draw a Black Source, play Blood Curdle. That also could have saved us for a turn. But yeah, in retrospect, we could have played that last turn better. But all that said, we did miss on blue sources for 20 cards. So yeah, on to the next one. Maybe we'll have better luck next time. All right, on to the next game against Aragos, and we're in this position a lot of times with this deck, but if we hit one more land, we'll be in good shape. I guess we keep it and hope we hit one more land. Maybe we should be running an extra land in this deck. But I did do the math for the last game, and we have 9 blue sources in our deck, and we were roughly 1 in 1,000 games to run that poorly on drawing blue sources with 9 of them in our deck. And that's not even accounting for the fact that I think we actually drew every blue card in our deck as well, without actually drawing any blue sources, which is supremely supremely bad. So okay, yeah, it's not what we wanted exactly. It means we can't do anything this turn, but we'd rather draw or get an Evolving Wilds here than you know what, maybe we should have actually got a Black Source there. Maybe that was a mistake for this Blood Curdle. I mean, we can Farfinder anyway, but maybe they play something here we want to kill with Blood Curdle. We're not too worried about Spell Eater. Okay, play Farfinder. We're hitting our land drops kind of the hard way, but we're getting there. Go get our Black Source. Play our Black Source, and pass turn. Okay, we're in okay shape here. We can Frost Links down the Spell Eater. Phase Dolphin. Okay, that's kind of a scary combo with the Spell Eater. What blocks? Do we Pyroceratops? I think we just Frost Links here just to kind of shut our opponent down as much as we can. Tap down this, hit with our Farfinder. Yeah, we'd rather have the Phase Dolphin tap down, because if they get in with the Spell Eater Wolverine, we can just, well, now we can't. I was going to say we could just trade for it. That is the one tricky bit there, is if they were able to deal with our Frost Links, now they get in for 3 more points of damage. Okay. Let's see what we draw. Okay, another land is great. So, we still can't do 2 things this turn. I think we actually just play another Frost Links. Frost Links. Tap down the Phase Dolphin. Pass the turn. No attacks. Try to trade with the Spell Eater Wolverine with our Frost Links if we can. Thieving Otter, okay. Sure, we will make this trade as well. Boon is good. We're gonna hold on to that if possible. Still can only do 1 thing this turn. I guess we just play... Yeah, we're just gonna play Pyroceratops. Try to... At least if they make their Thieving Otter unblockable with this Phase Dolphin, we can double block the Phase Dolphin with our Pyroceratops and Frost Links and kill it. So... Our other option there is we could have killed the Phase Dolphin. That puts us in not great shape if they kill our Frost Links there. This is kind of a... I think we're both kind of pinched on mana here, our opponent and us. Our opponent got off to more of an aggressive start, though, so we're kind of on the back foot. And it's pretty hard being on the back foot when you... Okay, sure. Yep, they tap us down, sure. Probably gonna make the Thieving Otter unblockable, I imagine. Yep. I'm sure we will trade with this. Wolverine, take 3. Opponent does get to draw a card, which sucks. Should we cycle this boon? Maybe we just want a 2-drop so we can 2-do... Yeah. As bad as this seems, I think I'm going to actually cycle the boon. I think we just want to be able to cast more than one spell this turn if we can. Okay, so we can Farfinder plus... Jeez. I think we do Farfinder. Go get a island. Play the island. Play a Thieving Otter. They get to get in again with their Thieving Otter, which sucks. But again, we have blockers lined up to kill this Phase Dolphin. So at least, hopefully, if they don't have another removal spell that holds back the Phase Dolphin, which should hold back the Thieving Otter. Okay. If they do have a removal spell for our Thieving Otter here, it means they get to eat one of our Farfinders for free as well. But if they spend their whole turn just killing our Thieving Otter, okay. We're not super broken up about that. That means they're not developing like more like scarier threats, and we can kill this Thieving Otter next turn. Okay, that's not so bad, actually. I think we prefer that to a removal spell, actually, because that means they still lost their dolphin. They did get to eat all of our creatures, but they lost their dolphin in the process. Okay. Now we can removal spell plus play... I guess we can only play this Wingspan Mentor, which means we'll put the flying counter on our tapped creature, which kind of sucks. Our other option is to... Yeah, I guess we do it. Put the flying counter on our Pyroceratops, and then I guess we just Rumbling Rock Slide the Wolverine. Pass turn. Next turn we can Avian Odyssey and Wingspan Mentor to start pumping that up. So it's not all lost by putting the flying counter on the Pyroceratops. You know, we're going to be growing this for no reason, but we're also going to be growing our Avian Oddity. So anticipate, okay. Removal will be rough here because it means they get to get in with Thieving Otter again, and our life is getting pretty low. Okay, opponent just passes. We could just kill the Otter here. Yeah, we're gonna kill the Otter. I think this is that's the way we lose this game, is that Otter keeps getting in. Convolute. Okay. That does get us. And we will pass the turn. We can still... We can cycle this Avian Oddity, put a flying counter on our Wingspan Mentor, which it allows us to start pumping itself with its ability. Okay. Anticipate. Using all blue mana, which is kind of interesting. We will cycle here. Okay, Narset's pretty good. They could have another Convolute, so I'm going to wait till we have 4 mana. You know, we have 1 more mana, basically, so that we can play Narset and also play for a Convolute. So I think we will... Yeah, we're going to Spell Eater Wolverine. And we're going to pass the turn. And we can Blood Curdle during our opponent's turn. So we can bait out a counter with that. Sure, just going to flash in a Crustacean. We're not too worried about that. Just a 1/6 with flash. We actually eat that with our Wolverine right now. If they try to like mutate something onto it, we can get rid of that pretty quick. Okay. Yeah, we are gonna set ourselves up to eat both of the creatures here. Okay, we will Blood Curdle. Try to kill the Feeding Otter. Put the Menace counter on our Wolverine. They could have another counter, but if they do, that taps them out. Okay, they don't. Put the Menace counter on our Wolverine. A double striking, menacing creature is pretty scary. Okay. We get to eat both their creatures, and we're looking pretty good here. Now we get to Narset and also leave up mana to make this Wingspan Span Mentor grow itself. Capture, well, that's kind of sucks. But now they're all the way tapped out. So we are going to Narset. And this should be game. We'll just gain, let's gain some life, make some mana. Can't really use it. Sure, blue. I guess we'll just get in here and then play this Facet Reader. We'd rather develop the board than do nothing here. Play the Facet Reader, pass turn. Narset's going to gain us some life, even if we can't use that mana right now. Crawl us out of the danger zone, and if they ever play a threat, well, okay. We can block that thanks to Wingspan Mentor. Oh, they gave it a flying counter. I guess it does have 6 toughness, though. We're going to do this now. Not with our blue mana. We're going to tap black. Activate Facet Reader. Okay. Island. We are going to draw a card. Okay. Discard nothing. And yeah, pass turn. No attacks. We can block with our Wingspan Mentor and pump itself. Triceratops, sure. So we can block this Terran pretty freely. Sure. Block. Pump itself. Give it 4 toughness. Oh, Clash of Titans. Okay. So we will tap our black, activate Facet Reader. Discard a mountain. Make mana. Make blue. We're gonna Clash of Titans, targeting our Pyroceratops. Yes, and their Wingfold Terran. So this way, if they want to interrupt this somehow, that's not just a counter spell. They're gonna have to kill our Pyroceratops, which is already kind of dead already. Okay, so we get to kill the Terran there. And we will pass the turn. No attacks. We're going to need to actually draw some ways to kill our opponent, though. Okay, we'll block with our Mentor. Oh, that's kind of scary. That makes it a 5/5. Well, it does have trample, so we're still going to do this just to make sure our Narset doesn't take any damage. That is a little scary. Pyroceratops. Okay, we will draw a card.
Strike with the cunning mind of the dragon.
We probably should have Facet Reader first. Okay, I'm gonna play the Pyroceratops. And pass a turn, I guess. It's not great shape we're in. We have just not been able to... Our opponent... Okay, so I guess our Narset's dying here. That's okay, though. We have gotten a lot of... I guess we should have done this main phase. I was wondering if we would draw like a pacifism, but what I wanted to try to do is double block with these two, and then even if they did have a removal spell, our Narset would probably... But, okay, our Narset's dead. But we get to untap here, and they had to devote a good amount of resources to killing that Narset. Aegis Turtle is not really what we want, so we will pacify the Pyroceratops. Pumps up our Pyroceratops, and play the Aegis Turtle. Maybe we should have kept that in hand to discard with Facet Reader, but we're okay with this. Cathartic Reunion, sure. Just discarded a couple lands. See what they draw into. Okay. This is why Ominous Sea isn't super great, is like, they just have barely enough cards left in their deck to even get it off. Do we want to make them... you know what? There's some argument we shouldn't cast this. Okay, I'm glad we did. That would have killed our Pyroceratops. Okay, we'll attack. Oh, I guess there was no reason to attack there. Aegis Turtle's a big boy, isn't he? Yep, pass turn. So it's going to be pretty hard for them to make Ominous Seas do anything before the game's over. Lava Serpent's great. So we will cast a Lava Serpent. Go to combat, attack with everything except the Aegis Turtle. Opponent takes 6. I got him on a 3-turn clock here. Let's see if they've got something to answer us. I think we will just use Facet Reader now. Okay, Blitz is pretty good. Okay, just attack with everything. See how they block. We'll probably just Blitz this Aegis Turtle. That leaves us with 2 lethal blockers, or 2 lethal threats on board. Grows our Pyroceratops, so it gets in for 5 here, thanks to the trample. And our opponent's down to 2. They gotta have a way to deal with our board here. And they can't. Whew, that one was a little bit scary. We just managed to not super greatly benefit off of our Narset, which was kind of interesting. We just didn't have the right combination of spells versus... I guess the problem was we were kind of out of action by the time we got to the Narset, and we were kind of still on the back foot. So we were still trying to answer what our opponent was doing on board, while trying to protect our Narset, and they were just able to kind of keep one step ahead of us in spite of our Narset. But despite all that, they had to spend a significant amount of resources to kill the Narset, so I think our Narset probably still won us the game. Like, they had to spend that Frostveil ambush just killing the Narset, when it would have been great, you know, later, if they just tapped down 2 of our creatures and got in our life points with that big Pyroceratops for a couple turns. That could have killed us, so... all in all, Narset was still good. It was more of just a target, though, in this game than like a super powerful threat. But even then, that's still really nice. It basically gained us like something like 10 life and cost our opponent like two or three cards. So not too bad. Anyway, on to the next one. All right, up against Subliminal, and can we keep this? Lava Serpent Cycles. I think we can't. I think we gotta mulligan this one. Well, this is probably worse, but we'll keep it. Go down the Pyroceratops. If we draw 1 land, we can start Frostlingsing. And that should keep us alive for a good long while. Well, okay. Aegis Turtle is going to do its job here, which is just sit out there and keep us alive for a long time. So, not a bad draw. We'd rather have a, well... Sprite Dragon's pretty scary. Okay, we did draw a land. No attacks. We're just going to have to Frostlinks this Sprite Dragon down, because it's going to be growing pretty out of control. Ugh, is this just spells? Spells, your opponent's cast that target creatures with flying cost 2 more. That's going to make our Rumbling Rock Slide a lot worse. I guess we just tap down the Skybonder here. And no attacks. Our opponent is looking like they're on like a red-blue flyer aggro kind of deck. I'm guessing with a decent amount of spells to power up this Sprite Dragon. Yeah, they are on some sort of flyer's brew. Lord Draxus is okay. Not exactly what we wanted right now. I think we just keep the Skybonder tapped down. Pass turn. Ey. The Skybonder actually is really good against us because it's going to make this Rumbling Rock Slide cost 6 mana, so by the time we get there, especially with how much we're struggling on mana right now, it might just be too late. Let's see what we got. Okay. Mana's good. Well, we can't block on the ground anyway, so I guess we just attack with our Frost Lynxes. Or we can, like, untap a Glimmerbell and block, which kind of seems like what they're going to do. Okay, never mind. Do we want to just run out this Lord Draxus? I guess we can't even. It would be mutating it onto something, which is pointless at this point, so we'll pass turn. Hey, Mana's coming back to bite us in the butt again. Maybe 4 colors was a little ambitious for this mana base. I wanted to try it. You know, this is it's kind of like how I like to play formats, is kind of exploring a bit, especially in the early part of the format. But maybe it was a mistake to run 4 colors. Maybe we should have just stuck to Jeskai and given up on the black spells, because this game's looking pretty over. Is there any way we live here? I do not believe so. Maybe if we draw into our flyer. No, we're still dead then. Yeah, we're just dead. Alright, so we'll scoop it up. Yeah, we just struggled on red sources for too long there. And that's going to be our league. So we tried something a little experimental this time, and it didn't really seem to pay off. It probably would have been better if we were just in straight Jeskai. We did have the fixing. I mean, we did have one game that we lost pretty hard to variance. You know, where we just didn't find a blue spell in the top half of our, or we didn't find a blue land in the top half of our deck, and we found infinity blue spells in the top half of our deck. But all in all, it probably would have been better to just stick to 3 colors. Lesson to take away from this is, you know, even with, you know, a lot of cyclers, like we have, let's see, how many cyclers do we have? We basically have 6 ways to loot, you know, if you include cyclers and Narsets and facet readers to kind of find what we need. But even with that, and even with the 2 far finders to fix our mana, it was still painful playing this swamp. Like in that last game, if that swamp had been a mountain, we probably still would have lost, to be honest, because of that 3 mana 2/2 flyer that made our removal spells cost too much to deal with their threats. But it would have been better, right? It would have been. I don't know how much we really gained out of including this Blood Curdle. Maybe we should have just accepted, you know, that we weren't going to be able to run it and run a few more red spells, run this Cloud Piercer and this Forbidden Friendship maybe. But it's a lesson to take away. 4 colors isn't as free as it might seem, although we did also not get any tap lands. If we had a few more dual lands, it would probably make it a lot easier, especially if we just had like a free dual land to make Splashing Black that much more free. But anyway, we did ultimately post a winning record. We got 4 wins, which means we basically got the entry fee back with 1,400. So all in all, it did still work out. It wasn't as good as our previous one, which was also 4 color, but that one we had a lot of fixing. This one we didn't. Whirlwind of Thought, like I said before, in draft, I think that all the 3 color enchantments are not great. This is probably the best one, Whirlwind of Thought, because it doesn't really ask you to do anything except play non-creature spells. It is still 4 mana, do nothing, which is pretty bad. But you know, they all have some you know, all these enchantments have some space and constructed potentially, but I think in limited they're all pretty subpar at best. Cut Warden, pretty good card. It's interesting that this is a good mutator. You're mutating and creating 2 1/1s, so you're kind of, if they end up killing the creature that you mutated on, you kind of make up for it because you're getting 2 1/1s out of the deal, so you kind of, you know, make up the card disadvantage from stacking things on top of each other. But it is a white card in Mutate, and there's just a lot of humans in white, so I wonder if this card is actually just sort of not great because of its color, but still decently powerful. You can probably still make it work in the right color combination. Next pack, we've got a Mythos of Snapjacks, pretty good. You want to be in Mardu for sure with that, though. You don't want to just run that as the white half only. And then our last pack, last but not least, we've got Slitherwisp. But this is actually what we passed, I think, as the first pick in our draft, right? We decided not to take this. So Slitherwisp is a payoff for having flash creatures. If we had first picked this, we would have ended up in a very different deck for sure. And I don't know. I feel like this is too big of a commitment as a pack one, pick one, and not enough of a payoff. You really want to draw this. See, like, you can imagine where this is good, right? If you draw this early, you play it on like turn 3, you untap, you get to play 2 or 3 other flash creatures, draw a bunch of cards. You know, it seems great, but then there's also games where you'll draw this as like late into the game, right? And it's just a hard to cast 3/2 that you've just on pack one, pick one, have devoted yourself super hard to black and really to black-blue, because this is something that you want to be doing early. So you've just really devoted yourself to 2 colors in the first pick of the pack for a card that's only sometimes good. So I still think it was probably right not to pick this and to go with what, I don't even remember what we picked instead, but it's a good card, don't get me wrong. Slitherwisp is definitely a good card, but I think there's definitely better things to pick in the uncommons and maybe even some of the commons. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up our draft for today. Got 4 wins out of 7, so middling performance, technically a winning performance, but we learned a lot and we made a weird deck, which is what I always like to do in draft, especially early in the drafting season. I definitely like to be kind of as adventurous as possible. I always try to do something I haven't done before when I draft, just because I don't draft enough to not do that. I draft maybe like 5-6 times a set. So for me, every time I draft, I want it to be something unique. I don't want to do the same thing over and over again, even if that technically would provide a better winning record. So our deck ended up really cool. We got some cool cards out of it, and ultimately we had a winning record, so can't complain too much. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching, because I enjoyed playing. This has been 2D, and I'll see you next time.